Hello, world. Welcome to Misfit Table. Hello, everybody. My name is Rob, and I'll be the game master for the story that we're telling here tonight. Whimsy and mystery abounds among the tents and attractions of the Witchlight Carnival, a fairground of tents and wagons crewed by wondrous beings, including many denizens of the Feywild. This is no ordinary carnival. It travels from world to world across the material plane, visiting each world only once every 8 years, and setting up its business on the outskirts of a town or a village. The carnival spends a few days at each location, then packs up and moves on. Tonight's story begins in this wondrous place, so hold on to your tickets as Misfit Table presents The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. All right. Our story here tonight, it opens in a dark and dusty clock tower, overlooking a dreary old city sprawled beneath an overcast night sky. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. A dark-framed elven boy stands within the upper gear house of the clock tower, listening to the gears counting the seconds, watching for the minute hand to swing forward. In one hand, the boy holds a watch, a rare item passed down to him from the previous custodian of the tower. The small device is the most valuable thing in his life, and yet does not truly belong to him, but rather the position that he holds as the current custodian of the watchtower. Looking around, he mumbles to himself. Witchlight hands turn on and on, he says. What's lost is lost. What's gone is gone. Time was valuable in Gloomrut. No sun, no moon, no stars looked down upon the city. And so the clock tower is one of the few reliable ways to gauge the hour. So dour you are, another elven boy sighs. So dramatic. You sound like you've just signed a terrible witch's pact. This child, whose cheeks bore the hint of rose, and he wore a fine white doublet and a blood-red cloak that fought a losing battle against the pale dust in the air. The dark-haired boy chuckled sadly. How can you make light in such a dark realm? Look outside and tell me you see a glimmer of hope. The rosy-cheeked boy smiled, a rare thing for him to do. Aha, but I do. Come to the window and look over the dusty rooftops to the north. Do you see the glow beyond the wall at the edge of town? Something wonderful has arrived. The bell of the clock tower clangs as the new hour arrives. Noting the position of the tiny hands on his own watch, the dark-haired boy smiles. 8 o'clock, right on time. Your work is done here, the other boy grabs his sleeve and tugs him towards the stairs. Come with me and behold the wonders and mysteries of the carnival. We leave these boys in this gloomy town, and we come to another place where stars in the sky hang over another village, a small place, quaint in the mountains. And we come to a manor house where we find another boy in a dark and gloomy room, pacing about, planning something, planning how he is going to get to the carnival himself. Outside the window, there's a glow beyond his village. It's been here for 2 days already. He's almost missed it. This boy, his name is Samarand. Let's see, what is Samarand? What does he look like? What is he doing?
Samarand has been waiting as patiently as Samarand can, which is not very. He's spoken to his brother and sister, adopted of course, about his plans. And when the time is right, they're all going to get out of the house as quietly as possible so as not to alert the mothers. And then part 2 of the plan begins, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. So, sneakily, quietly, deftly, hiding in the shadows, Sam goes to check on Tanna.
Tan is in her own room, the top of Tarangeth Manor. A room in an attic that she's taken for herself. It's a small room, but she's a small person. Samarand comes and knocks on the door.
Tanna, are you alone? You're very quiet. No. There seems like there's something wrong with your settings.
You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been talking through the door. She opens up the door and she's like, what do you want?
It's time to go.
Oh, dear. Okay.
You want to go, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I'm having some second thoughts. Moms are going to be so mad if they catch us.
They're not going to catch us. We're just going to go out. We're just going to go in for a little bit. We're just going to check it out. And then we'll be back before you know it.
You promise, Samarand? I know how your plans can get out of control.
Look, you're coming with me. You're going to help me keep everything in line and together and on a tight schedule, right?
Well, of course I'm going to do that, but will you listen? Are you going to listen?
Of course I'm going to listen when you give good advice.
All right, fine. Let's go. Let's be quiet. Let's get Thorn.
Quiet. Let's go get Thorn.
All right, so this duo descends from the top of Terengith Manor. How are they dressed for the night? What do they look like? What do we see as they make their way through the manor towards another room?
Tana is a small gnome. She has kind of crazy curly hair that she keeps back with a headband most of the time. On her person, she's got lots of little baubles and things that she likes to collect, or things she's made. And when she walks, even though she's trying to be really quiet, you can hear little bottles clinking together of little tinctures and little sunscreens and lotions and other herbalism things that she puts together from things she's collected in the woods.
So with every step, Samarand is cringing
Pretty much.
as his plan is falling apart right behind him within the first few seconds.
I'm gonna take my bag and I'm just gonna hold it like a baby and just be like, okay, I think I got it.
And Samarand, a young lad of 10-ish, wearing pretty simple clothing, though red hair, more of an auburn, really. But, shirt, vest, pants, well darned, well worn, and perhaps, shoes, simple shoes, made of a soft leather for optimum sneaking.
Let's get a stealth roll from the two of you. Let's see how good or bad this first plan goes.
It might go bad. All right.
Yeah, well, let's see. 16 plus... Oh, do we have proficiency bonus? Did we say 1?
Yeah.
All right, then that's a 19 for me.
Samarand's being very quiet. Just as expected. You make a few steps, and Tana juggles her backpack a little bit, and a bottle falls out, rolls across the floor.
I just hold very still after that. I don't go pick up the bottle. I just hold very still.
The bottom of the stairs, there's another room, and in this room is a large person, taller than most men. Who's Thorn?
Do they knock on my door? Or do I just hear
No,
the
but you
bottle?
just heard something roll past your door.
Okay, you
And you
guys...
thought you heard a whispered, hush, be quiet.
You hear several huge thumps and bonks before the door opens and a huge head sticks out, bald, with eager eyes. Sam, is that you?
Yeah.
Tana, you're here too. Is it time to go?
Mm-hmm. Iddy, it's time to go. Just, you remember, voice low. Low voice.
Low voice. I'm going to try and grab that bottle as quickly as possible to stop it from rolling. But obviously, the damage is already sort of done.
Well, give me another stealth roll. Let's see if you can save this situation a little bit.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You pick it up real quick, and you maybe put it in your own pocket or somewhere far away from Tana.
I'll give this back to you outside.
Look what I got, guys. And I step out. Thorn has one jacket, and he's wearing it. And he opens it a little to reveal a chainmail shirt underneath, as his face lights up with delight. Don't tell Master Dernick. And I close my shirt again. Yeah.
I'm not angry. I'm impressed, really. All right. You know what? I want to see that in the finest detail once we get outside. Okay?
Right. Wait, Sam. Don't forget. Be quiet.
Exactly. You are learning something, my big friend. All right. Now, like I said, shh. Let's go.
All right, let's try another stealth check and let's see how this goes. Let's see if you can get down to the second floor without bringing down the house.
That one's going to be a 6 for me.
I am so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. Do we start with any inspiration, Rob? Tell me we start with
I'm going to say no, not yet. Especially not if you need it in the first 5 minutes.
So that is officially my first roll of the campaign.
This is the way to start it off. I can't quite see it. Is that a fumble?
Oh, no, that's a nat one. Yeah, okay.
That's a nat one. Excellent.
Nat one. First roll of the campaign, you guys. Yes, we're off to a great start.
All right, the three of you get to the end of this hall, and as you turn a corner, Samran, you're like looking behind you, and you just can't believe how loud. You think that he's doing it on purpose. It's so loud. How bad was Tana's roll this time?
Actually, not bad. 18.
18. Tana is actually clinging to this bag like it is dying or something, and she is very quiet. In fact, the two of you turn this corner to head to the stairs going down. And Samran and Thorn, the two of you come face to face with one of your mothers, your dwarven mother, Mavra, who's standing there with her hands on her hips as if she was expecting this and was waiting for you. In fact, you almost bump into her. And Thorn, you don't even see her for a second until you're like almost like you have to sort of like jump to the side in order to not bowl over her.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
What are you all up to? What are you doing with that bag, Tana?
Cleaning.
Cleaning.
Yeah,
Really?
she had these bottles that she dropped, like she's been collecting all this stuff in, and she was saying these are getting really dirty. So we were just coming downstairs to help her clean them up a bit. Make them nice and shiny.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Downstairs.
Right.
And she needed the two of you to help with this.
Well, I finished all my lessons for the evening, and wasn't doing anything else, and we're not allowed to go outside. So what else am I supposed to do? I can't help out my sister every once in a while with one of her menial little tasks.
Well, you should be going to bed.
Yeah, right. And we will just after we help clean things.
Well,
I got anything else?
The bottles so I can make a nighttime draft for them.
Yeah.
They're having trouble sleeping because they're so excited about the carnival being in town, and it's hard to sleep through the music. It's coming through the windows.
Yeah, it's really keeping me up. They're creating quite a ruckus. I mean, it's unruly, Mother, unruly.
Yeah, you know what helps me sleep when I can't sleep at night and I hear things stomping around in the house?
You mean like Thorn?
Yes, like Thorn. A bit of hard work. Get the blood flowing, the muscles moving. Your idea for cleaning things. Yes, there are some things that could be cleaned. And I think the three of you, you said you're game for it. Let's go down to the kitchen. There's a bit of a mess down there. Let's go clean it up, shall we?
Too right. Yes. Love cleaning. It's one of my favorite things.
Roll deception.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
5.
Yeah, Tana and Thor, neither of you believe that, and it's probably because it's completely not true. I'm sure there's a lot of evidence that Samran hates cleaning. Although right now he's trying to clean up the mess that Tana and Thorn have made of this whole operation from the beginning. But there's another mess that's waiting for you downstairs as Mavra brings you down to the kitchen. There's a little bit of a mess from feeding 3 children and 2 adults in this house that hasn't quite been cleaned up. Seems like she was down here getting ready to do so. And she looks around at the 3 of you and says, well, get to it. Lots of things to do here. Clean, 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 right? Oh, and those bottles as well, Tana. Clean your bottles as well, yes. This should tire you out fairly quickly.
Sure.
All right. Thorn, you're the tallest one. You can reach the sink. We'll put you there first, and then you're going to hand the dishes down to us. Yep. We'll dry them off and then put them in the cupboards, but you'll have to reach the taller ones because obviously, look at us. And then, we'll start there, right, Mother?
Yes, and don't forget the floors, too. I was going to mop tonight. Someone can do that as well.
Oh, no. You go to bed. You get your rest. We'll take care of everything down here. The windows, the floors, the chairs, the underside of the table, the gazunda, the pot, whatever that thing hanging up in the corner is. Yeah, we'll get it all.
Yeah, I'm sure that you will. I hope that is sparkling clean in the morning, Simon.
You're going to come down here and you'll be blinded.
We will see. And she leaves the kitchen and the 3 of you to begin cleaning. As you begin to do so, and perhaps come up with a second plan, a plan B to get out of the house, we go outside and right down the road, just within sight of the gate to Tarangith Manor where you live, waits one of your friends, Sylphira, in the shadow of a tree. They're supposed to be meeting you any time now, and they have not arrived.
Oh.
Who is Sylphira? What do we see?
Sylphira is about just over 5 foot tall Azimar with kind of a dark grayish or medium gray hue skin with kind of freckles of darker tones kind of scattered about. She has long dark charcoal hair with streaks of white that are pulled back into a collection of braids that run down about shoulder length. She has pale gray eyes and kind of a slight-ish frame, maybe like a bit too tall for her age, a little awkward. And she's probably waiting patiently under the moon, looking up at it. Good question, actually. What phase is the moon in right now?
It's full right now.
Oh, is it? Well, Seluna shines her graces on us tonight. I hope my friends are safe. Well, Samaran's probably gotten them into some sort of trouble.
You have a feeling when they're late like this, especially when Tana's involved, something hasn't gone quite right. They were supposed to sneak out, and it didn't sound as if they had the best plan to do so.
Well, perhaps I should check in. Is the gate to the manor closed?
No, it's always open. The grounds are, they're not closed off. There's no walls around the entire thing, just a gate at the road. And the end of the road from Glen Hollow, village you live in, leads to this manor up on this hill. You can see a few lights on, so you know that someone's still here, and maybe a couple of them gone to bed. You're not entirely certain. You can see an area where you think the lights are on in the kitchen. That's about it.
I'm going to make my way to the house, as sticking to the shadows, if possible. Kind of
all right.
Navigating through. Hopefully my darker vestments will kind of keep me a little more hidden.
Roll a stealth check with advantage.
So I naturally have disadvantage on this, apparently? Or is that because of my armor? Oh, it's because I'm wearing scale mail. That's why. I'll take that off.
You might not be wearing that now, though.
That's what. Yeah, it just had it on D&D Beyond. Okay, just advantage. Ooh! Thank God for advantage. That was worse.
Would that have been another one?
No. I rolled a 3. Then I rolled a 2.
And a 2. All right.
Brandon, you were supposed to
This
save
is good.
us.
This is really good. This is a good start, guys. All of our roll. Oh, wow. Woo!
Lucky for you, you are not the only people in this world that can roll terrible. Sylphira, you make your way up the road. You're kind of staring up at the moon. It's bright. You're right in a big, sort of, illuminated area with it under you. You walk right by someone that is taking something out of the house, and they don't see you, and you barely see them until it's sort of too late, and you realize that Mavra, the dwarven mother of the orphans, the foundlings of Glen Hollow, has stepped out the back door of the manor and walked right by you and just didn't see you, and has headed over towards this wall that overlooks the village. You see her as she gets out towards the wall. There's a spark, and you realize that she has lit up a pipe. And you're aware that she's kind of not supposed to be doing that. You've heard the other orphans mention that her wife Morgana is not pleased with smoking. And it's a habit that Mavra picked up in the city years ago that apparently she picks back up when things are bothering her. And maybe something's bothering her tonight. You hear a bunch of pots and pans banging around in the kitchen, and you glance over in the window and you see possibly the three culprits responsible, your friends.
I checked the back door.
It's open. She left it wide open.
Okay. I'm going to peek around the corner, and in the light, you're just going to see this face with white eyes appear. Did you guys get in trouble again?
Shh, come in.
Sylphira, you're here.
I start doing whatever chores I'm doing as loud as possible.
I am.
Didn't
I
even
will sneak
make it down
inside.
the stairs. Sorry.
Nothing to apologize to me for.
We're having fun.
I figured
cleaning.
something like. Yes.
Want to wash a plate?
Sure.
No, wait. I have an idea. Right. Did you happen to see Mama Mavra?
Oh
On
yes,
your way
she's out at the wall smoking.
And she didn't notice you?
No, surprisingly, I walked right past her through the moonlight.
Okay.
Saloon
go back
blesses me
outside.
this evening.
Yeah, it really does. Could you go back outside and knock on the front door and say that you need help down in town? And you're hoping that we could come help you.
If she's outside, who would answer the door?
We would. We're going to come around the front.
Why don't we just go out the front?
I mean, yeah, that is the straight-on approach. I guess we could do that. But we have to...
I mean,
have to finish.
I'm not done with the dishes yet.
That's why I'm saying if we have a reason to go, we could use that instead of just leaving and not finishing this. But, all right. Fair enough, Thorn. Let's go ahead and finish the dishes, mop the floor, clean the windows, whatever that thing over in the corner is, and then we'll sneak out the front.
Right. I start whistling while I work.
Well, here's the
Cleaning the
thing.
kitchen is probably going to take the three of you like an hour. It might be quicker if you have Sylphira help you. It's cutting into your time.
Of course I would help.
Quickly.
Of course.
Yeah. Just grab a broom or something. Or
Do a really
sponge.
quick job. Just, real quick. It's just so she doesn't know that something's happened, that we're gone. But then we'll go out the front door. Let's do it quick. Except you, Thorn, you go very slow.
Yeah.
All right. So is the plan to kind of do like a quick clean and get out of here, or just get out of here?
No, Thorn has to be careful. But, yeah, everybody else, quick.
Let's get it
we'll get our parts done, and then we'll help him, and then go.
Let's get it like broom clean, like a landlord that's prepped the place before you check it out.
You shove everything like into like cabinets and like under the sink, wet down the floor.
No, I mean, they're going to notice if we do a stingy job. Like, we have to do a good job, but just as quick as possible.
All right. Does anybody have anything that can help you do this in a quick way?
Athletics?
Sleight of hand.
You could cheat with sleight of hand and shove things into places they don't belong. Probably shave off 20, 30 minutes if you're really clever with that.
Okay, that's a 13.
13, you think you've hidden a few things. Ran out into like the dining room and put them in the wrong cupboards, places that they won't look.
Yeah, it's, when you're eating a meal that you don't want to finish, you kind of just spread everything around the plate so it looks like you've eaten more than you actually have.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Any other skill that might help you here? If not, just roll, let's just say a dexterity skill check to just do this quick.
Oh, no.
Oh, cleric's rolling dexterity.
Quick is not my strong suit.
No, strong is your strong suit.
Yeah, exactly.
A 2, okay. What about Tana? 12. So Tana's actually the only one doing a decent job here. Samarin is like shoving things in closets. Thorn is just going super, super slow. And about 15 minutes later, you hear a crash and you look over and Saphira has dropped a plate that you know is going to get you in trouble in the morning.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll deal with that. Just get the rest of the stuff.
You hear from upstairs, "Everything all right down there, Mavra?" The sound of Morgana calling down, obviously thinking that you are her wife rather than the foundlings in trouble.
Dear.
How good have I gotten at mimicking either of them?
Let's find out.
Okay.
This is going swimmingly.
God, you guys, we haven't even gotten to the carnival yet.
We haven't even gotten out of the house yet.
So as Mavra is fond of saying, "Oh, bugger, it's all fine."
Give me like a deception check.
Deception is...
And roll with advantage if you've been practicing this. Which
Okay.
you probably have been.
Okay. That's going to be an 18.
That is a very good impression. You call up and you say the right thing and there's no response from above, which means all is clear. You've managed to shove a bunch of stuff away. You've cleaned up this broken plate. Every once in a while you glance out the window and you can see a little bit of the glow from Mavra's pipe across like the back lawn over near the back wall. And you realize she's still out there. Might have this opportunity to scoot the rest of this stuff away and slip out.
Okay. All right, Mala, we're going to bed now. Go.
All right, turn off the lights to the kitchen, and you guys slip out the front door. I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Give
Wherever
me
the opposite end of the house is.
Give me sort of a group stealth check real quick. And let's say that you guys can re-roll one of them. You can re-roll your worst check, because this is part of you guys have snuck out of the house before you know the territory. Who rolled bad?
Mine was not
I got a 9.
disastrous this time. I got an 11.
That's actually pretty good. What was Tana?
Mine was 9.
9.
I
Saphira, roll again.
Oh,
Did you roll?
Sophira.
Did you roll? Roll one more time.
12.
12. All right. And what about
Considerably
Sam?
better.
17.
17. You're fine.
Represent.
You guys have, kind of the ways to go, the trees to hide behind, the walls to stay behind, and you make your way out the front door as quietly and as quickly as you can and start heading through the village towards the local tavern called the Old Boy Inn and Tavern. Now, Sam, you say you've got a plan here. Have you explained this to the rest of your friends? Your brothers, your sister?
Yeah. So over the last couple of days, we've been going into the Old Boy and, having a snack in the afternoon and, chatting up some of the people that have been to the carnival the night before and just sort of, a meet and greet. Well, I've met this one gentleman named Bertram Fallvale, who I've learned is quite wealthy. So Plan A, we ask him if he'll give us the tickets.
Why would he give us the tickets?
Well, because he can be generous at times.
All right. Is there anything you need us to do, or are you just going to go up and ask him?
No, just we'll go in. Let's just go get something to eat or drink or whatever. Just a little snack, and then I'll go have a conversation with him, and then you guys just look as pathetic as possible. Which, Sophia, you're going to have to dumb it down a bit. Dawn, perfect. Tanner, rub some dirt on it.
Oh, I got dirt.
Okay.
And I just reach into my pocket and I'm like, oh, this will work. This is good. This is moss. This is good moss, actually. It's really good for your skin.
Yeah, no, I can see it's really bringing out whatever it's supposed to bring out.
All right, you make your way through town. You come to the Old Boy Inn and Tavern, and you slip inside. This is a place that has seen lots of children from the village before. There's no taboo about them showing up here looking for a parent or hanging out and listening to music being played by visiting minstrels or some of the locals who there's one or two that can actually carry a tune. The last few days, there's been a bard in town by the name of Relic, and he's somebody that Sam has kind of made a little bit of a friendship with. Relic's sort of a strange guy. He seems to have elven blood. He's taken sort of an interest in your group as sort of the sad cases in town that haven't been allowed to go to the carnival, to the Witchlight Carnival. And he's here playing tonight. And as you arrive and walk inside, he glances over at Sam in particular, and then continues with his song and looks across the way where you can see Bertram Fallvale, this visiting noble, at a table. And he's kind of sitting there humming along to this song that Relic is playing. Sam, you've heard this song before. In fact, you heard it the night before when you were scoping this place out. It's one of Bertram's favorites. You have a feeling that Relic has been playing it here for a while to keep this guy kind of hanging out and happy. There's a couple drinks in front of him, and he's still here. So your target, your wealthy, possible patron, still remains. How are you going to approach this? What are you going to do?
All right. So let's how does this place work? Do we go in, get a table, somebody comes and takes our order? Do we have to go up to a counter?
Well, considering you have no money, ordering food is probably not going to work. You may just need to, maybe you could approach Relic and offer to do him a favor or something, pretend you're here for a reason. Or you could just go direct to Bertram and try to plead your case.
All right. So we're going to sit down at a table and, we'll just, chat. We're chatting for a while. We're hanging out. I'll wait till Relic finishes his song and I'll go over and have a little tete-a-tete with him, as it were.
All right. He finishes it real quick. He notices that you've kind of taken this seat and seem to be waiting. And he wraps up his song real quick and says, all right, good crowd. I will be right back. Just need a little bit of water for the whistle. He steps off stage, kind of makes his way over to a table where he grabs a cup that he's got and then just sort of wanders, in your direction, sitting down on a bench nearby. Looks over at Sam and says, took your time coming here tonight.
Well, there were some, I wouldn't quite call them unforeseen events. It just took a bit longer for us to negotiate our exodus, as it were.
But not going to be any trouble here, right? I'm kind of going out a little bit of on a limb here to help you out. The children here, all the rest of them gone. I've heard them kind of making fun of you and your group about, not getting your evening at the carnival. I figured I'd try to help you out a little bit, but I've been singing up here for the good, about 20 minutes with that last song. Bertram's, he's about ready to either call it a night or head to the carnival.
Do you think he's been, drinking pretty good?
He's had a couple. In fact, I sent one to him myself secretly.
I really appreciate that. I mean, do you you've been around, you probably know things. Do you think I could just go and ask him? Does he seem that kind of guy?
I think that you probably could. He thinks quite highly of himself. So if you perhaps play on his vanities, maybe he will show some pity to you.
Okay. Now, that's a good tip. All right. Thanks.
Or if you could convince, Baron, the barkeeper, to perhaps send him another drink, that might help as well.
Right. Yes. Ooh.
Maybe if you bring him one,
so
do a favor for both Baron and for him.
Yeah. Right. Could I borrow a coin for a drink?
He looks at you and says, can't do that. Can't be seen giving, gifts to children. That would make me, sort of an accomplice to whatever you might be up to. I've heard that, I've heard that your mothers are very strict.
They are. Okay. All right. Let me think on that. You give me a lot to think about. Thanks. Okay. I'll work on that. And I'll go back to the table. I'm like, all right, guys. So that fancy looking man over there, that's Full Veil. Now, I can either go and ask him, or we could bring him a drink that would sort of put him in our favor, sort of thing. And then we'd ask him. But I don't have any money. I don't know about you guys.
I got a jar of pickles.
Okay.
Ooh.
Would you be happy sharing some of those?
Yeah, I mean, if he's got the munchies, I got some pickles, and I got a little jerky from that kill that Thorn had the other day. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
All right.
So I dried it out, and I got a little bit of that, so we can give him some munchies.
I do love your jerky. All right. Yeah, let's try that.
I think I got one of my treasures around here. I start rooting through my pockets and pull out. His face lights up. 3 treasures. Lint, a pin, and half a copper coin. But look, there's a notch taken out of it.
Those are very nice.
Those are such special treasures that I think they're going to come into play a little bit farther down the line. So you want to hold on to those for now.
All right. Put them back in my pocket.
All right. Well,
Could we not just ask him nicely to take us to the carnival?
Yeah, but
Yeah, of course, but you gotta give him a gift, a little present, just to make him feel a little nice, and
I'll
then
give him
you
the
ask
pin. Everybody likes a pin.
well, you know what they say: find a pen, pick it up all day long, you'll have a pin. So maybe
They say that?
some people do. Yeah, I don't know why, but
just Sam.
okay. All right. Well,
I think just Sam says that.
everybody, put on your saddest orphan faces. Except you, Sophia. You're not an orphan, but do your best.
I'm pretty sad, though.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. And she gets out a water skin. She puts a couple of drops, and then she kind of puts them in her eyes. She's like, okay.
Perfect.
Oh,
Love it.
that's smart. All right.
Did you boil that water first?
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, sure, it's fine.
You're going to show back in the morning with pink eye, and everything's going to be ruined. You head over to Falvel's table, and he's at this point kind of calling out for Relic to play another song. He's got a drink with him. I'm not sure how full it is, but he notices you as you approach your little group. He looks over, and then he looks up and up at Thorn. And he's like, "Whoa, you're a big one up there." And then there's a small one down over there.
Hi.
Looking down at Tim.
pardon us, sir. We couldn't help notice that you enjoyed the bard's playing. I am a close associate of him, and I could perhaps persuade him to play whatever song you like.
Oh, really? That one he was just playing. Do you think that you could convince him to play that one again? It's my favorite.
I'm sure I could. Yes, absolutely.
You hear a couple people at the tables nearby that are kind of listening to this start groaning, and one person's like, no, not again. Come on. It's been like 30 minutes. And Bertram says, no, don't worry about them. If you can get this for me, that would be excellent.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go have a chat with him, and I'm going to make that happen for you. And while I'm doing so, we have some gifts that we felt a man of your stature and bearing and fine accoutrement would find quite delightful in a place that, quite honestly, could do a bit better for the fair.
Gifts for me?
Oh, yes.
For what reason?
Because
I'm starting a business someday, and I wanted your advice as a man of taste, if they're any good.
Are you all right? You've been crying.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
had
a
a really
little
hard time.
disappointed. I don't get to go to the carnival like I was hoping, so now I'm just hanging out in a tavern, giving
You haven't gone to the
some of my
carnival?
pickles.
What? You haven't gone to the carnival? Why not?
Well, my mom, we just don't. I look at Samarin.
we can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Well, that's tragic. Really, you can't afford just a simple ticket. I mean, I've got a few here. He pulls out, reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out 3 tickets that he's got. And he's like, they're not even that expensive. I would have thought that this Grand Carnival, and I've been to it years and years, they've never raised their price. 8 silver. That's it. 8 silver per ticket. Can you imagine? It's been 50 years, and they've never raised their price. The children's tickets are even cheaper, 3 silver.
We don't even have a halfpenny between. Well, we have the one, but it's got a hole in it.
I start examining my 1 copper piece with a notch taken out. Sadly.
He looks over at you, and you're holding this copper. Go ahead and roll, Sam. Roll persuasion with advantage. This is the saddest story this guy has ever heard.
Right, well, that one's only a 7. But that one's a dirty 20.
Yes.
All right, so you're telling him this story, and he's listening, but he's also kind of put the tickets back in his pocket. He doesn't even really think that this is a big deal. Obviously you'll figure this out, and he doesn't realize at first that you're sort of begging him to sort of give you tickets to go. So you may need to lay it out a little bit thicker. So what is your final pitch with this? And keep that role in mind.
So I'm going to give Tana a nudge, beef jerky. Sir, you are obviously so great and generous. And this light is really doing wonders for your hair. I mean, I don't know if you use some sort of product, but...
Really? He's got 4 hairs on the top and the rest is on the side.
If you would do us the greatest honor of helping us, me and my friends, the 4 of us, get into the carnival tonight, we would be greatly indebted to you. So much that I could probably get the bard to play that song 2 more times.
Oh, you think so? Well, it just so happens I do have a few tickets here, and he pulls out the 3 tickets that he's got. He says, "Well, I've only got 3, but and they've only been partially used." He kind of looks at them, and you see there's little holes in them, and you know that each ticket can be used up to 8 times for sort of events at the carnival. And it seems as if he's mixed up his tickets and gotten them sort of punched, sort of out of order. So maybe one has got 4 punches and one has got 2 or 3. He says, I only have these 3, but I suppose that you could share them.
Well, I mean, we'd all want to go in at the same time. I would hate to have to leave somebody behind. And a man of your obviously high means could possibly spare 3 silver so that we could all go in together for the first time and do something as a family for once.
Well, I suppose it is only 3 silver, and if you can get that bard to play that song 2 more times, I think it would be worth it.
Consider it done.
All right, so you head over to Relic. Relic's kind of sitting on the stage, like at the end of his break, looks at you as you head over.
Look, I'm very, very sorry, but can you please play that song 2 more times? Now, you don't have to play for the whole 30 minutes. You can do truncated version.
2 more times.
They don't even have to be in a row. That was never specified as part of the bargain. You could do it, short version, then another song, sort of a palate cleanser for the rest of the group, and then go back to that one just until he's,
This is really going to hurt my reputation. But I think that, I'll do it as a favor for you.
I will make it up to you in any way I can.
Oh, I'll find some way. You, Samurand, you owe me a favor. Your friends, too, by the way.
Well, we accept the deal.
All right, then. So be it. And he gets up on the stage, strums his little lute, and bursts out into this song again, which is not a very good song. In fact, everybody at the bar is like, oh, God, you hear a couple people going, no, not again. Next song. A couple of people even throw a few coppers up there to get him to, change the song.
Real soon. Just, everyone, I consider this a personal favor.
Can I lean over some of those people going, no, and just be like,
yeah, you can try. You want to try to intimidate them?
Sure. Have a go. Dirty 20.
All right. You turn around and shush a table, and they kind of are taken aback a little bit. They know who you are. They know that you work at the smithy in town. They don't really realize that you're just like a child because you're so big, and they pipe down. And as you return to the table where Bertram is, he is just fully into this song again. He's ordered another drink. And as you're asking for tickets, he's like, yeah, just after the song, hold on, just a little bit longer. And he waits, for this song to go, and he starts saying again, all right, one more time. You said you'd do it twice. And Relic says, oh, quick break, just a little one. I'll get back up there. Just need a little bit of that. That's a hard song to sing. He jumps down off the thing, kind of approaches Bertram to kind of soothe the guy, and he's like, don't worry, fella, I got you. I'll sing that song again. Just give me a few more minutes. And he kind of pats him on the back and then heads over towards the bar. And as he does, he kind of looks over at your group like you owe him. As he heads out to the bar, Bertram looks at your group and he says, well, a bargain is a bargain, I suppose. And he reaches into his pockets looking for the tickets and pulls them out, and he hands them to you. He's like, well, it turns out I did have 4. What do you know? And he hands them to your group, and apparently doesn't need to spend any silver to get you what you want. These tickets now, as I said, these all have punches in them already. They're adult tickets, but you can use them without being an adult. And they're made of this sort of golden wax paper or whatnot, and they're somewhat fancy to look at. And there's a weird sort of sheen to them. Almost, there must be some sort of magic to these tickets. They just, there's something about the way they catch the light.
How many holes do they have punched out of them?
Well, there is one that has 3 holes punched out of it, another one that has 5 punched out of it, and another one that has 4, and then the last one has only 2 punches remaining, so 6 punches out of that one. In fact, I'll write that down real quick.
All right. Well, I mean, we can, share the punches around. Once we're inside, that's all that matters, right, guys?
Yes, of course. And thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Those pickles are for you. I suggest you eat lots of them and then drink the juice afterward. And it'll help you. It'll give
yes,
you a
yes.
better morning.
Oh, yeah, I'll save this for the morning. I know what you're talking about. You must have a drinker in your family, right?
No, I just come here every once in a while. And I know how it goes.
All right, well, enjoy the carnival, youngins.
I'm
Thank
looking
you
at the
so much.
tickets,
Have a great night on me.
and I just
Can't
say, but these have holes punched already.
No,
That'll
it's
still
fine. It's
work
fine.
for you.
No, it's Thorn. It's fine.
This
There's
one
so
only
much
has
more.
2 left.
There's so many more that haven't been punched, Thorn.
2.
It's
There's
okay,
2
Thorn.
more.
We're not going to go out and come back in. We're just going to stay the whole night and then get out before.
Yeah, no, just a couple of
He said
hours.
they're cheap.
They're not.
I've got
cheap.
an idea. Oh, mister, you seem real nice. I bet I work at the smithy. I bet I could get you a discount if you could help us out a little more.
Oh, no. Don't beg for more than what I've already offered.
Yeah.
I've been very generous with my time.
Generous.
I think he has, and I think we should say thank you once more and head to the carnival as soon as we can.
Oh, and here he comes again. He looks over as Relic is kind of walking by and strumming his lute again and heading towards the stage.
But there's
Bravo!
holes
One more time!
already.
Great, Thorn.
I tug on Thorn's jacket sleeve because that's about how tall I am. I'm like, let's
right.
go.
You drag Thorn out of the inn and you head outside of the village, heading north. The village of Glen Hollow is not too big. There's maybe 230 residents or so spread out amongst the village, and then some of the outer farms. And it doesn't take you long to walk out of the village and into the area where the carnival itself has been set up. It's as you arrive, you can see like the lights are glowing and getting larger as you draw close. And the first thing you see are fairgoers kind of coming and going. Some of them are kind of traveling with you to enter for the night. And you see this river that I described before that kind of acts as a border around the fairgrounds themselves, and it flows very slowly across. And obviously, this wasn't here, a few days ago when you arrived to check out this area before. Like Sam, you've come here a couple days to sort of scope the surrounding areas to see if there was a way to get in, and without swimming across the river. That doesn't seem to be an easy way to sneak past the Witchlight hands that run the ticket booth at one entrance.
Definitely dipped my toes in that water.
Probably, but I don't think you've swum across.
No. All right, guys. Well, we have our tickets.
You do have your tickets. At the carnival itself, you... Getting a look at this, you see that there's an archway over this river and there's a bridge that crosses. And on the far side, there is a ticket booth that you guys have seen before from a distance. It is there's a silver statue here that has dancing fairies mounted on the roof. And it's surrounded by fluttering butterflies. You don't know if they were illusionary or if they were real and have just been trained to kind of stay in this area. The booth itself is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky with shooting stars that arc across it. And sitting in front of the booth, behind a ticket counter, is an elderly goblin who is carrying a telescope. Right now, he's got it sort of turned backwards, and he's looking at somebody that's down in front of him, trying to purchase tickets. He's got a horn in his other ear, as if he's deaf, and he's looking down at this child, and he's like, "How old are you, sir?" And the child's like, "I'm 5." And he says, "I can't quite hear you. Did you say 45?" And the child's like, "No, I'm 5. I'm 5." And the parent is with this child, like, just trying to get the goblin's attention and saying, this is my son. he's only 5. And they have like this sort of back and forth for a little bit with this goblin who is, you're not quite certain if he's messing with them or if they just put the wrong person at the ticket counter tonight. But you have your tickets, and it's not an issue for you to kind of come through. But there is one thing that is a little bit tricky, and that is that the carnival goers who are passing the ticket booth, there's a few Witchlight hands that as soon as these carnival goers are given their ticket, these hands come forth, and they've got these armloads of fake fairy wings. They look like butterfly wings that are designed to strap on to anybody that comes to the carnival. And while you don't necessarily need to wear the wings to be, officially a member, a ticket-bearing, fairgoer, they sort of mark you as a person who has purchased a ticket. So you don't have them. It might cause you guys to have a little bit of trouble with Witchlight hands checking your tickets quite often. So if you lose your ticket and you get checked, it could be a big problem. Also means if you punch the last part of your ticket, don't know if that means the ticket is no longer good.
Definitely strapping mine on.
All right. Did we want to take like a 5-minute break and then come back and wrap this up for the night?
Let's take 5.
All right. Let's take 5 at this point.
We will be back shortly, folks.
I am back. All right. When last we left, this group had just entered the Witchlight Carnival for the first time. There are many sights to see, and a lot of them are overwhelming as you arrive within the fairgrounds themselves. Right past the ticket booth, you can hear the sounds of music coming from some sort of machine that's in the back of a wagon. And there seems to be pipes sticking out of it, and a monkey on a seat that is turning a handle on some sort of machine that's causing these sounds to play. Next to that monkey on the ground, there appears to be a small goblin that's dressed like a ladybug that is wandering around with a tin cup, kind of shaking it for coins. As your group comes through, of course, shakes its coin at you as well.
Sorry, fresh out.
Sam, look! It's a monkey playing a thing!
I know, that's amazing.
I've got a coin, but it's a special coin.
The monkey looks down at your group, and it seems like it's not just like an unintelligent monkey. It looks at you as if it understands what you're saying, and as it does, it points down to a sign that's nearby, and the sign itself says, "Spare a button, if you please. I'll sew it next to all of these. I offer nothing in its place besides a smile upon my face." And you look up, and the monkey is kind of wearing this coat that's got buttons just like all over it, as if he's collecting buttons from people going by.
I immediately tear a button off my shirt.
And give it to him?
Got a button?
Yeah.
I searched through my other treasures. I'm pretty sure I've got a spare button lying around somewhere.
All right. Tana and Thorn find some buttons from their clothes, rip them off, and hand them to the monkey. And in response, the monkey says, "Thank you very kindly. You use them well, I will."
He talks!
"Of course I talk."
What's your name?
My name. No one ever asks my name. My name is Ernest. They call me Ernest the monkey. Wasn't always a monkey, though. He just keeps, the whole time he's turning this handle and music is coming out of this machine.
What were you before?
Well, I was a human.
How did you get turned into a monkey?
Well, that's kind of an interesting story. I met a leprechaun, and we had some brambleberry wine. And then the next morning when I woke up, my mind was swapped with my monkey's.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, at first it was fun. But then, I think that my monkey preferred my body to his own because he ran off. And I haven't seen him since.
Oh,
Oh,
darn.
that's dreadful.
Wait, what was your old body?
It was human. Bigger
So
than
then-
yours, smaller than his.
Human running around with a monkey mind, and you just sit here turning that handle and collecting buttons.
Well, someone needs to turn the handle.
And collect the buttons.
They do. I love buttons. Loved them before I became a monkey. And they do look good, don't they?
Oh, you look very handsome.
Well, thank you. All the monkeys say so.
Do you ever give away buttons? I would love a treasure from you. With
Oh,
your
I don't
story?
give them away, unfortunately. Read the sign. Can you read?
We're still working on that with him.
Sometimes.
Yeah, all I can offer is a monkey smile, and he smiles, and monkey smiles, they look like they want to eat your face. They don't really have like a human smile.
I laugh
So it's a bit creepy.
uproariously at it.
And he seems entertained by it. Perhaps he's very self-aware of his, sort of monkey demeanor.
Oh, listen, if we find any more buttons, we'll be sure to bring them back to you.
Oh, one is enough, I'm sure. I don't need more than that. Just one little favor from those that come by. One thing to remember, every one of the carnival goers that takes the time to think of old Ernest.
Very nice to meet you, Ernest. We're gonna go look around. What's the first thing we should see?
Oh, well, what do you like? What are you into? Do you like games? Do you like rides?
Yes.
And as you hear that, as he says that, you hear overhead a loud buzzing. Zzz, and you look up, and there's a dragonfly above you, about 20 feet off the ground. And this dragonfly is about the size of a horse. And you can see a person sitting on it as it zips over the top of you and disappears behind some tents. He says, well, everybody loves the dragonfly rides.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely need that in my life right now.
Let's go do that. Let's go find a dragonfly ride.
Well, if you head just that way, and he kind of points a little bit back the way you came and up to sort of the north, he says, hey, just head that way. You can't miss it. Just listen for the buzzing. They all have to land back in the lily pads at some point.
Alrighty, we can do that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ernest. You're the best monkey I ever met.
Well, great. I'm pretty sure I'm the only monkey you've ever met.
You've got
Also true, but still,
great
hard
button
to say.
collection.
I do, don't I? I've been collecting for some time.
Oh,
I think a good collection is important. Helps remind you who you are and who you've met.
I give him a very envious look as we head off.
All right. You head away from this pipe organ that this monkey's playing, and when you head in the direction that he pointed, you walk by a few games that sort of surround a central carousel, and you kind of get glimpses of this carousel beyond as you're making your way towards the dragonfly rides. The carousel seems to have horses, and in fact, they're not horses. When you look closer, they're unicorns, and there's a bunch of people mounting up on this circular platform. There's a woman helping children up onto these unicorns, and as she steps back and begins the ride, the platform begins to turn, and all of these unicorns, which you thought were just wood at first, all spring to life. They prance and their manes go flying, and they just start going in a circle, and it's obviously some sort of animated magic. Or perhaps some sort of magical beast pretending to be, a wooden horse. You can just barely see that through the tents as you make your way to the dragonfly rides. And when you arrive where he has kind of directed you to go, you come across an area that is sort of connected to that river that circles the entire carnival. There, in this part, there's a pond, and there are huge lily pads that rest on the surface of the pond. They're all glistening, and there's some phosphorescent algae that's kind of glowing in the night air. And you see these giant dragonflies that are using the lily pads as landing platforms. They're buzzing loudly overhead with wings as brilliant as stained glass windows. They come down, they drop off, a guest, and then they pick up another passenger and head off again. And as you arrive near the entrance to this event, you see a small smiling tree that's turning your way and beckons you over. And you see that this tree is wearing a set of butterfly wings, and you realize that you've seen a few people around the Witchlight Carnival that are wearing these, and they're a little bit different than the ones that the fairgoers are wearing. They're nicer. They're made of like silks, and you realize that this must be a Witchlight hand, which they are the ones that run the carnival. Some of them are humans, some of them are fae, all sorts of different creatures, work here at the carnival, and apparently a treant is one of them. As you get closer, there is a red squirrel that clings to the canopy of like its hair, and it's just kind of peering out through the green leaves at your little group as you arrive. The treant smiles down at you and says, "Here to ride the dragonflies?"
Yes, please.
One
I
ticket
look over
punch.
at Sylphira, though. I want to gauge her reaction. She's been really quiet. Does she look scared of these? You don't get out a whole lot. Like, how are you looking?
I'm just kind of taken aback with the wonder of things. I don't quite know how to react. I've not seen magics like this before, so I'm just trying to take it all in.
I'm just checking on you to make sure you're not overwhelmed.
It's amazing.
I appreciate it, Tana. Thank you. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Sam's eyes are like this big. All of you, this is an overwhelming experience. There are more people than your village, obviously, here. In fact, has to be people that have come, traveling from nearby villages and cities to this event. It's pretty crowded. There's like music and singing. You see like occasionally like stilt walkers like walk through like the crowds making their way from one part of the fairgrounds to another. What do you do when you arrive here at the entrance to the lily pads? It seems as if this treant is the one that sort of controls access, the one that takes tickets and punches them.
Can children ride the dragonflies?
Yes, they can, as long as they are strapped in carefully.
Oh yeah, strap in. It's careful is our middle name. We're all, from the same place, so we, for some reason, all have the same middle name. Yes, please.
You can ride with a parent as well. Is this your parent? And he points over at Thorn.
I look at him and say, "You're even taller than I am."
Only a little bit. I will grow much bigger the older I get.
Wow. Does that mean you'll get more squirrels?
Oh, I hope so. Red here, he is my good friend. But I could use more friends. And the squirrel kind of smacks him in the head and says, "I'm your only friend, buddy."
I'll be your friend? Will you be my friend?
Watch out. If he tries to climb you, he's going to rip your head off. And the treant kind of just laughs a little bit. Says, "Oh, no, I don't think he would, Red. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's not really the head-ripping type.
No. Well, he's so big." The squirrel keeps pointing over at Thorn.
Well, he's actually he's a kiddo. He's a child. As am I. I'm only 35, so.
I'm still little, actually.
Really, he's only big for his size. Wow. All right, guys, come on. Let's go ride the things. I want to go ride the things.
Suddenly, my face falls. Am I too big to ride the dragonflies?
Oh, no, I think we have one big enough for you.
Yeah!
Although it probably won't go very fast.
That's okay.
All right, the four of you head in. You get tickets punched. One of those tickets is now down to just one punch left. As you enter into the dragonfly grounds, cross to lily pads, and mount up on different dragonflies. Everybody roll me a d20, and let's see how quick these dragonflies are that you've got. Tell me what you rolled. 2.
19.
19.
7.
and a 6. All right, so who was it? You rolled a 19? Was it 10 of 19? Mm-hmm. Okay. Everybody else gets on dragonflies that seem to be the ones that they reserve for kids. These are like the ponies at the fair, where they find the tamest, slowest ones, and they give them to the kids so that they don't get hurt or fall off. The exception here seems to be the one that they've given to Tana. Maybe they think that Tana's an adult. It's kind of hard to tell with gnomes, but everybody else, you mount up. They kind of strap you in with these seatbelts. They make sure they're real tight. And you lift off real slowly, with the exception of Tana, who's just comes a little bit off and then just tears out of the area at breakneck speed. Tana, roll a handle animal check for me.
All right.
Because this, you've never ridden on anything going this fast before, nor in the air.
9.
9. All right, so you lose the reins real quick, and you're just basically grabbing onto the belt and just like swinging as this is going. You're like, ah! And if it wasn't for the seatbelt, you would have flown off this thing and ended up who knows where. The rest of you don't know if you're jealous or not, but Tana takes off on this thing and is quickly out of sight over the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah, I'm like, giddy up!
Roll, if you want to get yours to go faster, roll a handle animal check.
Handling animal.
I'll give that a go as well.
6.
Sure.
All right, you're doing the whole giddy up thing, trying to kick it with imaginary spurs, and it's just going slow. It's just taking its time.
I got a 12.
12. Thorn, you actually get yours to pick up a little bit of speed, and you can kind of control where it goes a little bit. What about Sulfira? 4. You're
I've been in single digits the whole game except for that 112.
You're not far behind with Sam. Like you're just the two of you are on the pony that it's just going around in a circle. It seems like it's going on a predetermined path around the carnival.
I have a thought though, if you'd allow me.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to have my hands free?
Yeah.
For just a
in
moment?
fact, it looks like Tana's hands are free, and she's maybe panicking. She disappears over the tents.
Excellent. While we're in the air, I would have liked... I assume that Sulfira would have taken the one with only 2 punches left to let everybody else have as much fun as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to hold the ticket out in my hand, and I'll take my other hand, and the fingertips glow for a second, and I swipe my fingers across the ticket, and I'm casting Mending to see if I can... see if I can patch the holes up. Just real quick.
So you do this, you cast the spell. So it's like one of the only spells you've learned as, an acolyte in the church. Probably to, make up for the things you break,
which is
the house.
A lot. I am very clumsy.
You try, you kind of do your spell on it, you wave your hand away, and nothing seems to have changed with this ticket. The holes are still there.
Well, that's kind of what I
perhaps they
thought.
figured out the mending trick, a few decades ago.
It was worth a shot.
Roll a dexterity save for me as you've got this thing out and you're flying around in a dragonfly.
Oh no.
Why are you making me roll dexterity checks again?
Because you took your hands off the reins to fiddle with a spell and a ticket.
Oh no. Single digit, single digit, single digit. Hey, I got a 15.
A 15. All right.
Yeah.
For a moment there, the wind that kind of catches it as you're looking at it, and it almost goes flying away, but you grab it and stick it back in your pocket safely. Thorn, you're the only one that's able to control your dragonfly. Is there any particular place you want to go in the carnival? I'll give you a description of what you can see from where you are. At the moment, you are flying over what appears to be like a feasting grounds where there's people at benches and you can hear music coming from there. And it looks as if they're setting up for some sort of like a contest on one table. A bunch of people are kind of milling about with some witchlight hands. Beyond that, you can see some gondolas that are being drawn by swans that are about the size of horses. Beyond that, there seems to be a lake that you can't quite see much of. Something's going on there. There's like a crowd that's watching something, but you're not sure what it is from the distance you're at. Also nearby is the carousel, and then a little bit to your left, deeper into the carnival, right about the center of it. In fact, over kind of right where you were talking to the monkey is the big top. And then there's more that goes to the south. From this aerial view of the carnival, you can see that it's laid out sort of in a figure 8. And you guys are sort of at the top right of that 8. The big top is sort of in the center.
Okay. I think so is it okay if I'm looking at the map of the carnival as I decide this? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, you can look at it now, but just kind of limit yourself to like the northern part of it.
Well, I think the
unless you want to go to the southern part, then we can do another animal when you get down there and see if you go someplace else.
Well, what I thought might be interesting, first of all, I'm putting my hand up like this, and shouting "Wahoo!" as I go sailing around this. Just swoop low, like come back up, just having the time of my life.
You're not the fastest one, so like, and especially with your weight, it's probably not going super fast. So the woohoos probably sound much more enthusiastic from Tana, who's, you don't even know where she is at this point. She went flying off, and it's probably halfway around the carnival by now.
And then my only other thought was like, if I go over the lake and the gondola swans, I could accidentally go over the staff area, not knowing that's what it is.
You could,
which I thought might be funny.
There is an area beyond the big top that seems to be not necessarily part of the carnival. Seems like it's sort of sectioned off. There's some wagons back there set in a circle. You're not really sure what that is.
Well, Thorn's situational awareness is not high. So I think, yeah, I might if you think it's fine, I might.
You can fly. That's the one spot that doesn't have like. It doesn't seem like an event. Like you don't see any. In fact, there's almost no one that you can see in that area. Like every place else is crowded. Like there are fairgoers around the lake and waiting in line for the gondola, but there doesn't seem to be anybody in that little area behind the big top. So, if you're curious as to what's back there or why there doesn't seem to be anybody back there, that would be possibly a reason to go there. Do you want to try to fly over it?
Yeah, and I don't think it's that he's curious. I think he's looking down and doesn't really realize as he wanders into this darker area until he's already there.
All right. So you end up flying over the staff area behind the big top. And as you're looking down, you only see maybe 3 or 4 people in the area at all. In the center of it, sitting near some prominent wagons at the back, appears to be a clown who is, you don't know if he's on break or what. He's just kind of this big, hefty guy in a very colorful outfit with wings. And he's just sitting on the steps of one of these wagons, and he's got a pipe in his hand. You're not really sure what why he's there, but maybe he's just on a break, or maybe he's waiting to do a show in the big top.
I give
you
him
also
a
see
cheerful wave.
Do you say something to him like hello down there or something?
Sure.
He doesn't seem to have noticed you. So yeah, you come kind of buzzing over real slow, and you call down to him. He looks up, and he's got this really grumpy look on his face, like, "Why are you bothering me?" And he's like, "Hey, go away! You're not supposed to be over here." And he's like waving you to leave the area.
Sorry.
No fly zone, dummy. God.
I'll try to get back into the fly zone.
Roll another handle animal for me.
Oh boy. Oh my god, nat 20.
Nat 20. All right, you turn on the dime and start heading out of the staff area. As you do, you see one other person that seems to have kind of taken note of this situation. And this is an interesting looking fellow. He's big, almost as big as you. Maybe about 7 feet tall, you would think, just because of how big he looks next to the wagons. And you can see that his skin is not really like skin, but like orange fur. He's wearing like these overalls, and he's got also, he's actually not wearing wings at all. And he's, if he's, a member of the staff and in the staff area, maybe he's just taking them off. But he does have something else that's very interesting about them. He seems to be wearing a pumpkin on his head. And he kind of stops, and he's over near the edge of this sort of like viney, thorny hedge that surrounds the entire area. And he's near the edge of that and looks up at you as you fly over. He doesn't say anything, but just notices you and watches as you fly out, back into the fairgrounds.
I wave.
And he slowly, his hand kind of comes up like a little confused, like, okay. All right. So, Tana, you have made a half circle of like, the carnival on this, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or Mr. Dragonfly's Wild Ride. And you get a good look at the southern part of the carnival. You pass over sort of a large section of tents that have kind of been put together. You're not really sure what that is. You can't quite see the sign. Doesn't seem to be a lot of people going there. In fact, as you kind of go over, you don't see anybody go into it at all. A lot of people sort of walking by. But after that, you see an area that looks like a racetrack. It goes in like an oval, and there are grandstands with partygoers, the fairgoers in it, and some of them are waving flags and yelling, and some of them are kind of like throwing glitter and stuff like that. And you see racing around this section are very large snails that are about 7-8 feet tall, and on top of these snails are people who are riding them sort of like horses. And these snails are going almost as fast as your dragonfly is flying. They are leaving like a dust trail behind them as they go in circles around this track. Passing that, you look off to your left, and you see in the center of the lower part of the 8 what appears to be a miniature sort of carnival within the carnival itself. A bunch of little wagons and a tiny palace that must be 4 or 5 feet tall. It looks like if you took this carnival and shrunk it down and put it into this little area. And you're not really sure what that is. If that's just something like a miniature diorama they've put in. You kind of go over it too fast to even see and recognize what's going on there. The next thing you see is another circular track, but this one has mine carts that are on rails that are sort of going in a circle. They disappear to the mouth of this dragon's head that is kind of slightly animated and kind of moving. And then a few moments later, you see these carts come out of this cave as if they sort of passed through like into some other plane of existence and then came back out in a different place. And it's just kind of going in a circle like that. And you see people getting off these carts and then getting back on. As you spin back around and start heading back north towards like the ticket booth and eventually Dragonfly rides again, you see off to your left, kind of near that small miniature carnival, is a large teapot. It's about 40 feet tall or so. And as you're flying past it, you see a bubble pop out of the spout. And in that bubble, you see a person who is standing in this bubble and looking around in the out at everybody else. And you look around and you realize there's a few more of these bubbles floating around the carnival that you never really kind of noticed until just now. And each one of them has a person in them. And a couple of these people are running like as fast as they can in these bubbles, sort of like a hamster in a hamster ball. And those bubbles are kind of floating across the sky nearby. The rest of you, Samarand, you make this trip a lot slower. You see a lot of the same things. You probably get a little bit better view of them because you're not flying at high speeds. Do you want to try to control your dragonfly again and go any place in particular?
I just want him to go faster.
Try one more time.
6 once again.
All right, so yeah, you're pushing the whole time, and this thing's just like do. So it's taking its time. What about Sulfira?
I will take this moment, as we are flying calmly, to try to get a lay of the carnival, perhaps, and if there's any particular place that has a lot of action going on, I'd like to make some kind of perception check to see if there's any key pillar of interest, I guess.
Give me an insight check, I would think, or investigation, whichever one might be higher.
Okay. 7 plus 4, so 11.
11. So by far, it looks as if the snail racing is one of the bigger attractions. There's a lot of people in the stands there, and a lot of people kind of waiting in line. The one that seems maybe the least... and right next to it is you're going slower, and you get a kind of a better chance to look at this tent that's next to the snail racing section, and you can make out this sign on the side that says Hall of Illusions, and it doesn't seem like anybody's going in there. That seems like you're not even sure why, but no one's there. No one's waiting in line. It's a little bit dark and kind of dismal.
Noted.
You want to try to make another animal handling to go anywhere? or do you just take the ride?
Yeah, I'll after I've gotten a comfortable lay of the land and taken a nice gentle time on Moonglow here, is what I've named it. Yeah, I'll try to spur it up and get a little faster.
All right.
For a 6.
For a 6. Yeah, you're the same thing. Like you're
+2, so 8. So much better.
Right. Sam, you're like doing everything you can to get this dragonfly to like go. You're not sure where Tana is at this point. She's just way out of sight. You catch a glimpse of Thorn kind of in the other direction, just going wherever he feels like. Saphira's been kind of next to you this whole time, and then she seems to be just looking down, taking in the event calmly, and then she just gives a little sort of like giddy up, and it picks up just enough speed to just kind of like pass you very slowly and very calmly.
Oh, come on!
But you both are going like, you're in the slow lane, both of you. Eventually, the dragonflies, they bring you back to the lily pads. They land, and your group reunites, a few minutes later when the ride is over. You are up now, kind of near the feasting orchard and the carousel and the gondola swans.
Can I do one more quick thing with that natural 20 on my animal handling?
Sure.
I'd like to ride up next to one of the bubbles that has like a person inside it, and like kind of just hover next to the bubble, like looking at each other.
Okay. You do. Let me see how that person is handling their bubble experience. They seem to be another person that is able to control like the direction of their bubble. So like you come up and you're hovering near them, they kind of run a little bit to the side and the bubble kind of goes this way, and then they turn back the other way, jump to the other side of the bubble, and it kind of bounces this way.
Can I sort of
kind of like going
frolic
around
with
you in a
them?
circle.
Can I sort of frolic with them, like doing a little dance?
You end up sort of doing a little dance in the air. Their bubble seems to run out of steam a lot quicker than your dragonfly, though. Like you're only there for like maybe 20 seconds before the bubble starts descending, and that person, even though they're like running super fast, doesn't seem to have any control over the descent, and it eventually just comes down into the fairground and pops like around them, and they're just left down on the ground.
I wave goodbye.
And they wave to you. And then they run off, probably back in the direction of the teapot. All right, where are you guys going to go next? What are you going to do? You have one ticket again that's down to one punch left.
Well, so what's the total count for punches left?
From what I can tell when I wrote down my notes here, which I have now lost. Hold on a second. I think it was originally 5, 4, 3, 2. So you guys will now be 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. I mean, there's nothing that says, one of us can't go play a game, get a punch, and then switch out the tickets. And
That's true. So what do we want to do together? There was some snail racing that I saw. I'm not really interested in watching a race, though I would like to see a really fast snail. I just think it would get a little boring after a minute.
If I'm not riding a snail, I want to do something. We could go see it, sure. Let's. But that's all the way down
like the most popular attraction here. I'm sorry.
Roll a perception check, all of you actually. With the exception of Tana. Tana, roll with disadvantage.
I will roll with disadvantage.
15.
12.
Got a 14.
All right. So, what did Tana roll?
14.
14. Oh, even with disadvantage.
Even with
you're not entirely certain, but you think that some of the people that were riding those snails were fairgoers and not Witchlight hands.
Ooh.
Actually, come to think of it, I think you can ride the snails. So we could race each other on snails, guys. We could each get a snail. I know we just rode a giant animal, but I need to ride another giant animal. I don't think that'll get old.
Well, all right. So that's all the way down at the other end. Let's head that way, but maybe play some games on the way?
Yeah. Let's definitely play some games. But nothing that you gotta bet money on. I'm looking at you, Sam. I'm looking at you.
No, we have the tickets. It's just like throwing things at other things. That's
fine. Just you know.
Maybe shoot some things, yeah.
Oh, a game. Maybe they have the one where you push to see how strong you are. How hard you can hit the thing.
Oh my goodness, that's an excellent idea, Thorn.
I bet I wouldn't be bad at that one.
Oh no, I'm sure you'd win.
All right, so you head to the area where the small stalls are, where all these games seem to exist. They all sort of circle the carousel, and there's a bunch of small stalls here. There's some that do games and some that sell things. And you see, like as you come through here, like candied apples and like cookies and wine, which, as far as you can tell, seems to be non-alcoholic. Like somebody says, "Don't worry, you won't get drunk," and that person says, "Well, what's the point then?" You see there's like pixie tarts here and like sugar glazed button mushrooms and lollipops. And the games themselves, there seem to be about a handful here that are of particular interest. The first one you come across is a table that has what appears to be a bunny with a unicorn horn made of wood that is sitting on the table. And as you watch, a fairgoer takes a few rings from a witchlight hand and waits for this bunny, and it's just kind of staring at it for a moment. And then a second later, the bunny disappears in like this little burst of like purple smoke, and then reappears about 2 feet to the side. And the guy throws this ring, trying to get it on top of the this little bunny, and then the bunny disappears, and the ring goes flying off the table. And he's like, "Damn it! I'll get you," and he tries again, and it seems like a very difficult game to master. Next to that one, you see a person standing in a stall with a blindfold, and you're like wondering what the heck is going on here, and then you see a little winged creature jump off of the other shoulder of a nearby witchlight hand and begin flying around this person. And as they are, they're kind of whistling and laughing, and then that person is reaching out and trying to grab them. And you see a sign nearby that says "Catch the Dragon by the Tail." It seems to be some sort of a contest to manage to grab this fairy dragon while you're blindfolded. There also seems to be a poetry contest. There's a gnome that's standing on a little stage, and there's a sign next to him that says, "Try your poetry against this gnome. Good luck. Go home." And next to that, there is a strength. Well, you're not really sure if it's strength based. There appear to be two goblins standing on another stage, and they're both wrestling this big guy and trying to pin him to the ground while he's trying to pin them. Next to that, there is the stall where you see a few cages, and this witchlight hand kind of brings one of these cages forward, and you see a person trying to guess the number of feathers on this very strange looking bird that is within the cage. The last one you come across is a little ring that's set in the ground, and there is a child sitting on the ground staring at what appears to be a giant with one eye, a cyclops. And the sign here says, "Outstare the Cyclops." As you're watching this one, though, you realize that the Cyclops doesn't seem to be quite real. Like, it's not moving at all. And you can see the witchlight hand that is sort of running that game is standing there with a wand and like concentrating very hard. You're not sure what's going on with that game, but the sign says you have to outstare it.
Is there a place I could find some of these fairy wings?
You have to get them at the front. Are you asking one of the witchlight hands?
Yes.
That's what. Well, what do you mean? You should have got them when you got your ticket. Did they not give them to you?
I don't think I got a
We're
pair.
a gift.
Well, you should have got. Why don't you have wings? Let me see your tickets.
Yeah, we got wings when I came in.
Well, why aren't you wearing them then?
I'm wearing mine. Why aren't you wearing yours?
I am wearing mine. You ain't wearing them.
Not you, him. Sorry, there's a lot going on. She, her. Yeah, right.
We didn't
that
get
one.
wings when we came in. What are you talking about, Sam?
Yeah. I don't remember any wings. I'd be wearing them right now if I had them.
They were giving wings to other people when they were buying their tickets, but our tickets were a gift.
So they didn't give you wings.
No.
Well, you should have stopped by the wing guys. They would have given you wings, I think.
Oh, all right. Well, we can go back and get wings.
Well, we can do it later. It's fine.
Are they real?
Oh, it's ninja wings.
What do you mean real?
Well, will they turn into fairy wings? I saw somebody riding in a bubble. I don't know what goes on here.
No. The wings you get, they're not real. At least those aren't. I mean, no. You need dust if you really want to fly. And that has nothing to do with the wings.
All right, that's fine. They're pretty.
Yeah. I think they're very. I mean, I got real nice ones that we made here, and he's kind of like showing them off. He's like this big dude, and he's got like these fancy wings, these butterfly wings. He seems very proud of them. Obviously, the Witchlight hands, their stuff is, they spend time to make them perfect. A lot of the ones you see, the kids running around, like one of the wings is like falling off and dragging behind them. And some of the parents are like carrying them in their hands, like they don't really want to look like a fool. But there's a few that are pulling it off.
Well, we'll get those wings.
You need dust to really fly?
Oh yeah, pixie dust. That'll make you fly, or turn you invisible. Sometimes both.
Where do you get that?
Over the Pixie Kingdom.
Sam, can we go
is that
there?
That tiny little place? The place with the tiny things?
Oh yeah, that's kind of down near snail racing. Yeah, it's very popular down there. Yeah, watch the crowds. Yeah, it kind of gets out of control down there.
All right, so we have to go get wings. It's right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Get your wings. Guys, we're paying attention. Jeez, oh, peso. And then we'll then we'll go see the pixies, I guess.
All right, yeah, fun with the pixies.
Thank you.
That's a great place. Kids love it. Yeah, they play hide and seek, once an hour down there. And if you win, they get a prize.
Oh, I am going to go get a prize right now. Come on!
That's what everybody says. It's not as easy as you think. Good luck, though.
I wanted to wrestle the guy.
What, the goblins?
Wasn't there wrestling somewhere? Did I?
Yeah, you think that these goblins are wrestling a guy, but it turns out the guy is wrestling the goblins.
Thorn, you want to wrestle some goblins?
How does that one work?
You go to the Witchlight Hen, and he's like, "Oh, well, you just, you punch a ticket, and then when you get a chance with these goblins, just go for it. Pin them to the ground. If you can pin one, you'll win it, and then you get a prize." And he's got this bag that's like full of random stuff. He's like, "I just pull something random out of here. I'll give it to you if you win. You're a big guy. You can probably do it, right?"
You win the goblin?
No. You win a prize. Yeah, we tried giving away goblins one year. It didn't work out very well. Everybody just wanted to return them.
Yeah, I want to try.
All right, you got a ticket?
Can I?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why we're here. Yeah.
All right. I punch a ticket.
You punch your ticket, and you head in, and there's these two goblins that are standing on this stage, and they're just sitting there like, come on, man. Come on, yeah, you got it. And they're like, they got like muscles, like they've been doing this a long time. And they're all dressed sort of like twinsies, and as you come on the stage, they jump to either side, and they're like, come on, we got you. Come on, big fella, you might think you're big, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
All right. Come here and let me give you a hug.
No hugging. And then one guy runs around like behind you and tries to like grab you from behind and like pull your pants down while the other one like jumps and like knees you in the stomach to knock you over. Let's do for this. You need to do an athletics check, I believe.
All right.
Let me check it real quick.
I've got a question. As a Goliath, I count as one size larger for lifting and carrying and stuff. And in the grappling rules, if you're 2 sizes larger than your target, you gain, I think it's advantage on wrestling. So would that apply because of the powerful build thing of Goliath, or would that not?
I don't think that I think it only applies to your carrying capacity, not for your actual size.
Okay.
Because Goliaths are technically not large sized, but they act as large size for carrying things. So yeah, you could carry a lot more goblins, but you probably won't get advantage against them. Roll an athletics check.
I just did. I got a 22 anyway.
Oh, wow. All right. So you run in. These guys, the goblin grabs your leg. Another one grabs you, tries to knock you over, and they just bounce off. They're like, hey. And you grab one, and you've got one held right now. In order to win this contest, though, it's going to require 3 at least out of 5 to win. So right now you've got one, and you're kind of holding him up, and the other one's holding onto your leg and trying to pull your trousers down. He's not successful right now. Let's go for round 2.
I hold him up toward my friends, be like, I got one.
Not the point
well
of the
done,
exercise,
Thorn.
but doing real good.
Yeah, don't hurt him though.
I won't.
All right. The goblin that is on you or that you're with, he tries to escape, tries to wriggle free.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what he can do here. They don't have any particular skill at this, but because they are goblins and they are working together, they get to roll once. They get to roll with advantage, basically, which means they both get to roll. Let's see what this is. So, on their second attempt, they get a 17. They're crafty.
I only got a 10 that time.
So on the second one, like, you're getting ready to grab this guy and just hold him to the ground gently, and he wriggles out of your grip and like runs around behind you. Let's go for number 3.
He's
1-on-1
slippery,
right now.
guys.
That's right. Very slippery. Vamp oil. And then they jump at you again.
I got a 13 that time.
And they got a 6. So one guy comes running around and slips and like slides almost halfway off the stage, and everyone starts laughing. And he says, "Yeah, but you can't put the lamp oil on your feet, dummy." And he's like, "Shut up!" And then you grab that guy and you got a hold of one again. All right, 2-1 right now. Let's go again. If you win this one, you will win.
All right. Yes.
Okay, you probably still beat me. I rolled an 18.
23. I got 19 on the die.
All right. One starts climbing up on you, and you just kind of, the one that's holding on, that slipped like and fell off, to the side. You just walk over and just like stick your hand on his back and press him to the floor, and he's not going anywhere. He's like, "Oh, let go!"
Can I?
The other one's like riding on your back, but unable to do anything to stop you.
Can I try to juggle them?
Sure, why not? Let's roll.
Watch this, guys.
Roll dexterity.
I'm just expecting you to yeet one of them like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
That was not as disastrous as it could have been. I get a 12.
A 12. So you managed to throw one up in the air and like transfer the other one to your hand and catch, the other guy. You're not able to really do anything super fancy with it, but they're like, one of them like bites your hand. He's like, hey, we're not that part of the act.
Oh, sorry. I very gently set them both down.
Sorry, he gets very overexcited.
You're lucky we can't be violent in here. Jeez, some people. Give this guy his prize. And the Witchlight hand comes up and reaches into this bag. Roll a d8 for me.
There are my dice. A 4.
4. 4 is going to be... all right, so this Witchlight hand, he pulls out a bottle from his bag, and he looks at you. Kind of does a little bit of a double take, because you're a kid, but you're huge, and he doesn't really know exactly like what to do with this bottle, and he just kind of gives a shrug, like whatever, and he hands it to you, and he says, "Here you go, Witchlight wine, fun stuff. Yeah, you have your own little party when it opens."
I take the wine, like looking around, like, are they gonna let me keep it? Thank you.
No one seems to be taking it from you. You have a bottle of Witchlight wine. Let me know if you open it to drink any.
I hurry back to my friends.
That was great.
Do you guys want some wine? Look.
I mean, yeah.
Well, just maybe
What did he tell you
a
about?
little sip, just a tiny one, and but then we cork the bottle right away, because moms can smell that. They can smell it from an aisle away.
Oh.
I know they.
Okay, just a little. He said there'd be a party when you open it. I want a party.
I could have just been talk, like a metaphor or
Well,
something.
there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
Yeah. All right.
Are
All
you
right,
gonna drink
Sam.
this just right out? You gonna drink it right out in the open?
Wait. Maybe we should. I ask a carnival hand. Are we allowed to drink this here?
Well, he looks around and you see other adults that are drinking, and he kind of looks at you. He's like, "Well, I mean, sure, yeah, everybody else is."
All right, Sam. I'll hold this end. You hold that end.
He's like, "Oh, wait, hold on a second. You're giving that to these kids?"
No,
No.
absolutely not. He's just helping open it because
I'm a very helpful helper.
All right. They're looking at you a little askance, but there's another Witchlight hand that kind of bumps the guy on the shoulder. He's like, just look the other way, man. Just look the other way. These villagers, man, don't want to get involved in this stuff.
Well, unless any of you stop me, I'm about to open this bottle.
Nobody stops you, I don't think.
No.
And when you open it, suddenly this loud music begins playing, and it's your typical circus music. You know, it's like there's no way that you can drink this thing without being noticed. It's like this loud music that's just playing as long as you put the cork back in and it goes quiet. You know, as soon as you open it, it's like beep, beep, and it's a party in a bottle.
This is amazing.
And there is wine in there too.
I take a little tiny glass, the tiniest glass I can find.
Do you actually have glasses?
I don't know.
No, you don't.
All right. I'll just take a little sip.
All right, you take a little sip. It's very, very tasty. In fact, super tasty. You've never tasted anything so good as this before in your life. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh boy!
Playing to our strengths, I see.
Well, would you look at that? I got a 16.
16. You managed to just take a little sip and not like start chugging this thing. And then what do you do with it? Do you hand it off?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely passing this to my friends. I'm not keeping this all for myself.
All right. No, does Sam pass on it?
Not out here. Maybe later.
What about Tana or Sulphira?
I'll try it.
All
Here,
right.
Thorn. I'll take it.
Pass it off to you.
Yeah. You take a little sip, and it's pretty good to you too. It's not so much like you don't have the same sort of reaction that Thorn did. Thorn seemed to be like very like just about to kind of like take another big swig before he corked it and handed it off. But it's very fizzy and nice. You've tasted probably the sacramental wines and stuff before.
Oh, respectfully,
at least a couple times a week, just to make sure they're still good. What about
only
Tana?
one way to check?
Tana's gonna look at the bottle and she's gonna be like, I shouldn't.
It's quite tasty.
Well, if it's tasty,
It's really
yes.
good,
And she
Tana.
looks around, and before she uncorks the bottle, and she's like, "It's so good that I have hit the age appropriate for a gnome for this beverage at this event. Hurrah!"
Right now, Sam's just running around in circles, like pretending to fly with his pixie wings.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Tana, you take a little sip too. It's pretty good. Again, you still don't have the same sort of reaction that Thorn did. It's not like the best thing that you've ever tasted. So maybe a little sour to you, but it's still pretty good.
I take just a titch, and then I cork the bottle real quick, and then I look around.
Nobody seems to have even paid much attention. The Witchlight hands are ignoring you on purpose.
I'm going to save the rest of this for later. I take it and tuck it away in my coat.
All right. Any other games or moving on?
I want to go play hide and seek.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Anyone else have anything to say?
I think we're going to get wings before we go play hide and seek with the pixies, right?
Yeah.
Let's get wings.
All right. You head back to the ticket counter where the Witchlight hands are passing out wings. You show your tickets. They're like, "Why didn't you have wings? Why did you come to us before?" Damn kids.
We got distracted by Ernest and his wonderful
Ernest
collection.
They yell over, "Thanks, Ernest!" And Ernest the monkey's like, "You're welcome." He doesn't know what they're talking about, but he just replies. And you're given these wings. They don't seem to bat an eye. You've got tickets. They've been punched already. You've obviously been here for a little while. The one witch hand kind of looks down at your tickets and kind of remarks, "Well, you got adult tickets. It's a little weird. You got overpaid for these, but whatever." And
it's spared no expense.
Mm-hmm. And you guys headed over to this area where you saw this miniature pixie kingdom, as it was called, by the Witchlight hand that you were just talking to. And you come to the opening And at the opening, there is an actual pixie sitting on a stool. 1 second.
What's that?
You see that this area here, this miniaturized fairground, it's surrounded by a copse of oak trees, and you see now that you're up this close that there's this little Ferris wheel in the center of it, and running around on the inside of this Ferris wheel, it seems to be a hamster that is being used to turn it. Encircling this the Ferris wheel are a bunch of little wagons and candy stalls, and like I said, there's this pixie that's sitting cross-legged right at the entrance to this realm, sitting in sort of like the hollow of this little tree that forms an arch that goes inside. As you approach, the pixie looks at you and he says, "Hello there, I'm Jeremy Plum. Welcome to the Pixie Kingdom. Coming inside?"
Hello, Jeremy. How do we fit?
Well, if you punch your tickets, that put a little bit of dust on you and you go inside.
Oh, we got tickets.
Well, let's see them then.
Sam, this one's for you. Go
Going
do the game.
I mean, is it just me, or is everyone else?
Well, it's one punch per person.
No, I'm just, this is where the hide and seek is, right?
Oh yeah, well, you can do it if you want, but there's only one winner.
I mean,
You're a man, Sam.
Okay, I think it's just me then.
Right. We
All
can
right.
watch though, right?
Yeah, it might be a little hard to see him if he's good at hiding, though.
Well, that's
That's
great.
All right, Sam, you head inside. As you do, you get your ticket punched. You step inside, and as you do, Jeremy, he takes this little pouch of dust right before you enter, and he kind of, as he's sprinkling it over the top of your head, the world seems to grow very large around you. And as it does, you hear Jeremy calling out to you. He says, "All right, now if you go in there, you got to have a pixie name. You're no longer human, right?"
No, that's right.
All right.
My
Now,
name.
no, I give the names here. Don't make them up yourself. People, they come up with names that are not very, family friendly. Today, we're going to call you, let's call you Toad Hop.
Toad Hop. Yeah.
Today, you're Toad Hop.
All right. Toad Hop it is.
All right, you shrink down to a tiny size. He says, when you want that to end, just come back here, or, if you step outside, it's going to end anyway. You can't walk around like that in the rest of the festival. Someone to step on you. Won't be good.
And I look back up at my friends like, you guys are huge!
Go, Toad Hop. Go.
I'm going!
All right, you run off into this place, and as you do, your feet come off the ground, and you realize after a couple seconds that you are not really running. You are like running in air, and your wings behind you, your little butterfly wings, apparently have become real pixie wings, and you are actually flying right above the surface of the ground. So you see, the rest of you see a tiny Samaran go flying off into the Pixie Kingdom. When you get into the Pixie Kingdom itself, what are the rest of you doing? Are you just going to wait for him to come back out? Seems like this might take a little while. Like the kingdom is pretty big once you're that small, and there's a lot in there.
You don't leave them alone. Somebody's got to stay, right?
If you two wanted to go off and explore the carnival and play more games, I'm happy to stay and wait for Sam. I've only got one ticket punch left, and if we're going to spend it, I'd rather spend it doing something fun with all of you.
Oh,
That's very generous.
Here, that you don't need to do that.
No.
Well, we could. I bet they're not. They're going to watch him, right? There's a bunch of pixies in there. He'll be safe. We'll just make sure we're not gone too long.
It looks like there's a bunch of kids in there too. I mean, there's adults, but it seems like there's almost more kids here than in most of the other attractions.
How good of a view can we get of the hide and seek game?
I mean, you can watch from like the archway, but it's there's a lot of places to hide in there. Like you watch for a little bit, just for a few minutes, as he runs off, and you can see that there's a group that are sort of gathering to play hide and seek. In fact, there's a couple of pixies that are organizing this, and Sam, when you head over to them, there's one that seems to be almost like drill sergeant in charge. This female pixie who's standing with like a little clipboard. She's like, "All right, everybody, I'm Honeymint. I'm your friendly supervisor, and I'm going to tell you what's happening." She points over at the other pixie. "That's Starbug. You listen to Starbug. When Starbug tells you something, it's as if I said it. All right, you guys all ready to play hide and seek?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." What about Sam? How does Sam get into this?
Yes.
All right. We're going to send Starbug over there. Starbug's going to count to 30. You guys all have to find a place to hide. She's going to cover her ears, cover her eyes. Good luck out there. If you need any help, come to me. I'm good. I've done this game a million times. I'm all hand at it. I know all the good places to hide. Starbug doesn't know all of them. All right, Starbug, go on. And Starbug runs off over to a tree, sticks her face in it, covers her ears, and you start counting real loud. The trick here for hiding is it's not your straight up sort of find a dark spot and jump into it. This is a wisdom stealth check. So if you are proficient with stealth, then you use your wisdom instead of your dexterity, because you're trying to find a place that sort of outsmarts them rather than out-hides them.
Okay. And would my Mask of the Wild come into play at all?
Yeah. I'm going to let you roll. I'll let you roll with advantage because of that.
Okay.
So go ahead. As you start running around, do you need any sort of help with this? You can hear Honeymint like giving a few suggestions to other players. But if you think you got this handled, you can do it.
Well, that first one's going to be... Oh, you said advantage.
Yeah.
9 or 22.
22. All right, there are 7 other players here. I'm just going to roll real quick to see if any of them come anywhere near this. 1 is close, and I got to roll that one again. No. And heck no. There's always that one kid at the end who's just kind of running around in circles, and like tears are coming to her eyes because they can't find like a place to hide. And of course, there's a kid in this one that rolled the fumble. It just kind of gives up at the end. It's like, you with your 22, roll one more time for me real quick.
6.
Ooh. Does he still get advantage on this roll?
Oh, do I?
Yes, you do. Okay. So roll one more time.
10.
Okay. Still not the best roll on the second ones, but this was more of a tiebreaker. You were hidden very well, but there was another kid that was also hidden very well. But that kid didn't have the advantage of, your sort of elven benefit to hide in certain situations. They begin the hunt, and they start finding these kids, one by one, as Starbug makes her way around the different places in the kingdom. And she finds one kind of hidden in this, in one of the Ferris wheel carts that was kind of up at the top. She just flies up there because they all have wings and finds them. There's another one that was trying to hide behind a large puppy that's over in the corner, and the puppy just runs off and leaves them kind of standing there. And then there's a flower bed where there's a couple that were hiding. But when you were over near the flower beds, you decided not to use them because you heard the flowers talking. And they were trying to talk to some of the children that were hiding there, which totally gave them away. You ended up hiding out in a nest in a tree that is called the Heron's Nest. You're the last one that is discovered. In fact, that's where Starbug goes finally at the end and discovers you. And when you're finally brought down, the other pixie the one that's running this thing, Honey Mint, says, "Oh, heron's nest. Not everybody goes up there. I kind of suggested it, but not everybody's a good climber. Good job there. Good job."
Thank you.
And in reward for winning the hiding contest, you are given a prize. And that prize, hold on a second, they give you a little packet of pixie dust, a little bit like the dust that was sprinkled upon you when you arrived here at the kingdom. And they tell you, you can only win this once. So if you try to come back and, win this again, we're going to remember. And she looks at her little clipboard as she's kind of like written down a description of you.
Okay. Duly noted. Thank you so much for playing.
All right. Outside, had Thorn and Tana decided to go somewhere else?
We haven't decided yet. Taking a look at the time, though, it is 10:15.
Yeah, we're just about to wrap up, so there's time for maybe one more little event.
Well, around the Pixie Kingdom, let's see what we got.
Well,
I think as you guys... go ahead.
Tana and Sulfira, I just played a game. If one of you or both of you want to go do something, I can stay with Sam.
No, that's very kind of you. I would actually love some candy floss if they have it.
Ooh, candy floss.
Do they have any here?
Back up to the small stalls, they do, yeah. And there's like one of the Witchlight hands is nearby. In fact, the Pixie Jeremy says, "Oh yeah, you head it back to the small stalls. They'll have some candy floss up there. Just one punch you ticket."
Oh, just go for it, Sulfira.
Sure. I will indulge this one time, and I'm going to very happily make my way, kind of skipping almost, something you've not seen Sulfira do, off to the candy floss booth with her glittery purple wings kind of bouncing up and down.
All right. You come to this booth as, and we'll say that Samaran is still, doing his hiding contest when you go off to do this. And you're using your last punch from your ticket to acquire some candy floss?
We should trade
Yes.
Sulfira one of the other cards. So it doesn't have to be the last one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you head up. Which one do you have then? Like, what are your punches left? Well, we can figure that out later. It doesn't matter for this because you end up going up to the small stalls. You find one that's got the candy floss you're looking for. You just have to choose a color, color the rainbow. What's your favorite?
Something bright. Like a bright pink. Like a bright pearlescent pinkish purple.
You ask for a pink and they punch your card. And as they're handing it over to you, you look at your card and you realize that there's like that little sheen to it seems to be fading.
Cool.
There's still room for a couple more punches on it. And the other one that you had that had only one punch left wasn't doing this. There's something weird with this, with the ticket.
I show it to the person.
The person they hadn't noticed it, but you show it to them?
Yes. Is this normal?
They kind of look down at your ticket and they kind of reach out and kind of like flick it with their hand. And as they do, the ticket itself, part of it crumbles, and then a piece of it just like suddenly just the whole thing just turns to like sort of wilted paper and falls apart in your hands and falls to the ground. And the Witchlight hand that kind of flicked it is like, "Where'd you get that ticket?"
It was a gift. It was a gift from someone.
And you see him kind of like look up and kind of look over towards another hand nearby. And he says, "We got a ticket problem here."
Oh, oh no. Can I wave at my friends?
Your friends are kind of far away in a different part of the carnival. You're all on your own right here.
Oh.
In fact, roll a perception check for me real quick.
Oh no. 22.
22. As you basically have like this empty hand in your candy floss and the other one. The Witchlight hands are like, he's calling this one over. Another one that seems to be sort of like on patrol in a way, starts walking your way. And you notice that, I mean, that's problematic in itself. But you look past them and you see on the side of the tent, about 20 feet away, what at first you thought was just the shadow of, a passerby walking. And then that person, as they go, the shadow freezes in place where instead of following that person. And the shadow has like this weird sort of like figure. It seems humanoid, but its head has almost like a sliver of a moon sort of shape. And you can't quite tell because it's a shadow, but it seems to sort of turn and look your direction. Like it stops and is kind of like, feels like it's looking at you. The Witchlight hand is like, hey, over here. This is the ticket problem. This person, this kid over here. Where are your parents?
One of them is gone in Shadowfell, and the other one is at home.
Right, you're going to have to come with us.
Oh, no.
They reach out. One of them reaches out to like take your arm. Do you let him just apprehend you?
But what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. The ticket was a gift.
Doesn't seem like it was the right ticket. Someone ripped you off, or you're trying to rip us off.
But it was punched before just fine.
Doesn't seem like the right ticket now. Rules are the rules. Can't be in here without a ticket. They both take you up by the arms and start kind of lifting you and taking you towards the exit. Do you do anything?
I'm going to scream Tana. I'm going to scream Tana's name.
All right. Over in the other part of the carnival, Sam, you're just coming out of the pixie kingdom and growing back to size. And let's get the three of you roll a perception check real quick.
It was great, you guys. Oh my god, I was flying, I was hiding, and wait, do you guys hear something? That's a 21.
Yeah, you hear somebody screaming out Tana. And for a second, it takes you a second to realize it. And it sounds like Sulfira in a big panic.
And I'm going to start yelling my Thorn's name and Sam's name. And
give them all away.
Help. Help.
I just start running in that direction.
Yeah,
Same.
me too.
All right. And I think at this point is where we will hold off for the game for tonight.
Oh!
But do I get my candy floss?
As you're being dragged away, the Witchlight hand just pulls it out of yours real slowly.
No!
On the ground behind me.
Not the candy floss.
That is my
As you're dragged away, it just, in the background hits the ground. Boof, boof, right in the dirt.
Somebody steps on it.
Yeah. A
This
moment
is
later,
gonna be
somebody steps on it.
like the coffee that the, down in his luck PI can never quite drink.
I'm going to go everywhere looking for candy floss, and it's just going to be taken away from me every single time.
Yeah, you were just like this. You're like just about to take a bite of this thing, and your ticket's like.
Oh man!
If I wasn't playing a good character, I would have just run.
And lawful,
I'm like, I have rules to follow.
Even good characters sometimes run.
Well, but you're super lawful, right? Isn't that your whole family's thing? Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. You guys might have a problem in the next game.
We've got a situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I never get sweets.
I feel so bad. Sulfira is so giving the whole time, wants nothing for herself, finally just wants some candy floss, and it all comes crumbling down.
Rob, you bastard.
Like that.
Oh
You've seen the video of the raccoon that they give the candy floss to, and it dips it in the water and just watches it dissolve and then looks at its empty paws. Like, what?
That's Sulfira.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's still Fira right now.
Wow.
All right,
All right.
everybody. Well,
Fun.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody that
Yeah.
that watched, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, tune in next Tuesday. See you
Next